喜べ少年.
That's right. Rejoice, everyone. It is time once again for Let's Talk Fate Grand Order. As always, your hosts. Am I your master? It's Omega. And with me, as always, he is your senpai. It's Lucky.
Hey, people, I'm here bringing the salt.
Once again, Ron is not with us today. He has been temporarily possessed by the heroic spirit of Ernest Hemingway and is looking for the gin.
And something you have to know about Ron is that he very much art hipster.
Also, he likes to drink.
Yeah.
He's one of the busiest people I know. And you know who he's talking about when he drinks, too.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Man,
he's like a quality drinker. It's not just he gets smashed on cheap beer. Like, he talked about it going for rounds of sake with art class friends. Typical artiste levels.
That's pretty heavy, actually.
Anyway, so, we're not here to talk about Ron's drinking habits. We're here to talk about Fate Grand Order.
Yeah.
AKA The Endless Tease. So, let's
God,
run through our usual disclaimers. There's going to be spoilers. Everything that has currently come out that is Fate-related, we're going to spoil. Stuff that is currently coming out, we're probably going to talk about. We may mention stuff going on for Apocrypha. We are going to talk about events with story that are ongoing in the game, literally right now, in NA, and in JP a little, but that's obviously filtered through translation. So, if you're not here for spoilers, either suck it up or get out now. As usual, we warn about the waifu talk. We're going to talk... There's going to be a big chunk of this episode later that is entirely devoted to gushing about servant designs and qualities. We're going to talk about Summer. The Dead Heat Race event going on in Japan right now.
So don't forget your sunscreen and prepare to run through the sand with us.
Sunshine! And in case you can't tell, I have now a makeshift soundboard and will occasionally be inserting Fate-related sounds. And, we're salty.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot. We're both salty today. There's a lot to be salty about.
Alright, let's turn back the clock a bit here. It's about like a week ago. Because I'm gonna start off this salt fest. So as we predicted last episode, there was the Orleans raid up.
Mm-hmm.
I got super excited. Omega got kinda excited. He already had John, so he was just all like, "Oh, okay, cool." Me also yes.
I just spent tickets on it. I didn't spend any quartz.
Yeah, lucky bastard. But me, I was super hype. I got my tickets. I got my catalyst. I have my I got my art book. I opened it to some Jean. I got my Saint Graph. I played it there. I put my phone there. I did some hand clapping and bowing. I screamed, "Don't spook and Kyrie." I mean, I didn't get Jean. But you know what? I was expecting that. I wasn't expecting the Gold Saber. I was not expecting Chevalier Dion. Literally the one saber. The one saber I did not want. But who because it was Orlais.
That's Dragon Age. Orleans.
Orleans, excuse me. Orleans. Because it was Orleans, decided to grace me with its presence. I don't even know if it's a girl or a guy. What is it?
Dion's gender is Dion.
It's Dion. And, here's the thing that bugs me. Out of all the gold sabers, literally, Dion was the only one I did not want. Siegfried, he's not as great, but, he's a bro. He's my Sumanai bro. He was in the raid up, too. There was 2 gold sabers in the raid up, and I got the worst one of all. Man, you will not believe how excited I was when I first saw it. I was like, Gold Saber, go! Ah! I think I'm gonna get Altera, and I can we can have civilization talks, or maybe Nero, and I can get I can start having my daily doses of Umu.
I was gonna say you didn't even pull Nero for your sweet revenge on me.
No. No, I didn't. And like Siegfried or Alter or like out of like there are like what like six? There's like six gold sabers right now.
Well, let's do some math. So, don't count Saber Lily because she was a pre-release.
Yeah, she was a free. Yeah, she's free.
So there's Artoria, Altera. That's your 2 5-stars, I think, that are in. And then there's Saber Alter, Dion, Nero, Sumina. Yeah, so that is 6.
So there's 6.
2 of whom were on Raid Up.
On Raid Up. With Siegfried in the Raid Up, too. Like, that was the other thing. He was in the Raid Up, too. So he should have been, like, raised to, like, the same level, I'm assuming, as Dion. And I got Dion. And the thing is my pride, I have my pride. I'm not gonna, like, just throw away a 4-star,
No, you've got
saber.
a fucking gold saber.
Yeah, I got a fucking gold saber now. I'm just gonna, like, oh, I had to lock it in place, and now I have to start feeding it, and I'm just, like, doing it, like, so, like,
honestly, the fact that, I don't know what your Saber Lily's level is. I have a level 60 Saber Lily. I'm trying to get Dragon Fangs for her next ascension. Like, some people would tell me I have put too much juice into Saber Lily because, stats-wise, she's not great. But, it's a saber, and it was free.
Yeah.
Gold sabers are not easy to come by. That's okay. See, we're gonna get a problem. Just you watch. Gouda Gouda's gonna come out later this year. I'm gonna train roll. I'm gonna get Spook's train roll for Okita.
We get Nobu for free, don't we?
Yes. You have
okay with
do
that.
A certain like net score in the event because it's a scoring event, not like a currency event. But yes, you get to keep her after.
Okay.
And theoretically, you should be able to earn enough copies to keep her in your run anyway. But yeah, no, it's which is great. I get another gold archer because guess what? I didn't get a gold archer for the other thing. So, like I said, there was the Orleans raid up, and there was a tie-in event for Otakon 2017, which seems to be what North America's angle is Facebook likes and con tie-ins, which makes sense for America because we've got a very robust convention scene here, and it's a great way to tie in to be like, hey, we're gonna have a panel. Oh, announce at the panel on a slideshow. Hey, look, everybody, it's a raid up where everybody gets some quartz. But the event that is now ongoing in North America is Moon Viewing or Moon Goddess. It has a longer, fluffier Japanese name, like a light novel title, complete with question mark, exclamation point. But this is the first, like, serious event in North America and kind of sets the standard for events that are going to come. The only difference is, which we will see in the Halloween event later, is there's no welfare servant and there's not an event map. It's just a separate menu with the quest chain. Halloween, I believe, adds both of those. You get Caster Liz, and then you get an actual, event map. So, Moon Goddess it's a story. It's got a story event to it.
Story.
I've completed the story. Lucky's one note away from completing the story. And you can actually watch me play the first couple story chapters on my channel right now. That video went up the same day we're recording this.
Yeah.
And so, it has an event currency. There's a couple of special event-only CEs, just like always. There's an SSR servant who's introduced. It's Orion. And Orion is not actually limited. I don't know if she is unlimited right away, or if it's like Tamamo will be later in Halloween, where she is temporarily limited to the event gacha and then comes back later in a story chapter. But Orion is not technically limited, so it's not a huge rush like it was with Gilgamesh. And honestly, I didn't think Gilgamesh was a huge rush, because he's going to be in several reruns later, because he's really popular. But
Everyone
yeah,
likes
so
his
Orion
name
is the
called
new one.
Combos.
Orion is actually a pretty okay gold archer. She's got a good kit for damage bonus, and especially versus males. She's got a single target NP, which does bonus damage versus male servants. Or male enemies, not just servants. Her only real problems is she has a single hit arts card, so her NP gen is awful. You're much better doing ABQ or AQQ chains. Or even better, pick a different servant who has an arts card that actually does a damn, and then slot her cards in behind it. And until she gets an NP upgrade interlude later, her damage against non-male enemies with her NP is a little lackluster. But still, she's okay. So naturally, I did a 10 pull. I got enough quartz. I tried. It didn't go well. You can watch. I did it on the video. You can watch me do a 10 pull. It involved a lot of 3 stars who I don't need. I got like 3 copies of Robin Hood, who's not even on Rate Up, by the way. He literally isn't. I got 3 copies of him. I got 1 copy of Ushi Wakamaru, who is on Rate Up. And I did not have her at max NP, so that counts. I got a Boudica who I couldn't use. I had to burn her because I got her at NP5. And then I got some other junk. I think I rolled a Saber Giles in there, of course. And I got a couple of 4-star craft essences, one of which I can't even use. I got a 5th copy of Verdant... No, a 6th copy of Verdant Sound. Because I already have it at max limit break, so that means I've put 4 into it. So yeah, no, it wasn't good. I've since spent all the summon tickets you get from the event. I got 1 more copy of the Mooncell event CE. Which brings me to a pro tip, our first pro tip of Moonlight Goddess. You can get the 3-star craft essence from the Friend Point Gacha, I have heard. It has been reported to me that it is in there. I haven't personally seen it, but I trust sources. That means that if you're looking for multiple copies to do the event farming, because one of the things I should have mentioned earlier is why this is kind of a first real event, is it introduces bonus currency for using certain craft essences. And later events, you will get bonus currency for using certain craft essences and certain servants. So then you can really maximize your potential there.
Yeah, so... Drink? Yeah, so Moon Goddess basically prefaced this event with a little online event. Like this pose, get quartz, and they said 3 quartz for 2,000 likes. I
think it had 10k in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I checked it maybe an hour after it started. It was at 12k likes, and I kind of feel like that was shooting a little small there. It's it should have been something for every 2k likes we get 3 quartz.
Yeah, and that's not entirely unprecedented. They usually, when they do event live streams or other such announcements in Japan, they go anywhere from 3 to 10 quartz. So it's not unprecedented to throw us a little extra bone. I think because it was the first time they did this sort of thing, they lowballed it a little. Because they didn't know what their response would be. They don't want to set, give us 10k likes to get, 10 quartz or whatever, and then they stop at 8k. That looks bad. But now they know for sure, if they wanted to do that, they could. And they probably should in future. I hope they do.
And they should.
As evidenced, quartz is not as useful as you think it is.
Oh man, it is.
I've realized that out of our circle of friends, I'm like the Rin Tosaka. I want to summon sabers, but I'm just covered in archers and pendants.
It's a good parallel. Now you just need to wear pigtails and a lot of red. Be set.
Yeah, I think
they have some nice wigs on Amazon.
I don't have the legs for it. Though she wears stockings or long socks though. That would probably cover the hair.
Yeah. See, if we ever go to convention, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make you roleplay as Ren Tosaka. That's what we're gonna do. It's now set in stone.
Yeah. So the only other thing I think we want to cover about Moon Goddess is that the event has great writing, and it especially compared to some earlier missteps in the translation, it's got a great translation too.
Oh my goodness.
It sees the return of Mary's "My Homies" line.
One that I especially enjoyed was Amadeus Mask.
Yeah, Amadeus Mask.
I thought that was pretty good.
The whole conversation about Mary and dumplings, where Sanson's this doesn't make any medical sense. I must study this for science.
No, but I think I haven't beat the story, so I haven't got the full conversation, but I don't think anything could beat Saint Martha, Georgios, and Legend of Samurai.
Yeah,
But-
that's a classic callback. Because his interlude is Legend of Samurai, and had a typo in Japan, so it was Regend. They fixed that in localization, but it still works. Also, this is the first time we get reference to Saint Martha Dragon Puncher.
Like, yeah, like, I've heard from, like, the summer event when she's a ruler, she uses her fists to fight, but, I really didn't think anything of it. He's like, oh, just whatever. But apparently it calls back to this, cause, like, the way they explain it, like, Saint Martha was dealing with shit even before she got the rod from J-Man. So she was just, like, dealing with dragons with, like, her bare fists.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, St. George, or Georgios, has a great quote when Orion catches him with the dumplings. Thou art a dragon?
Oh, man, I had to stop for, like, a good 2 minutes. I was laughing so hard.
And then, fucking Martha, she doesn't pass out. She jumps on Tarask, laughing, and flies away like a fucking Power Rangers villain. I'll get you next time, kiddies. I assume she's doing the woman's laugh, though. As she flies away on her fucking spinning dragon. Also, Tarask is no fucking joke. Like, I got blitzed by Tarask a couple times in the event, in the farming events.
No, we're gonna come back to the writing real quick, but I do want to state for people who are, like, just starting the Moon event, it's all like, you're gonna have to prepare. It's like, you're gonna have to, like, customize your team, because these fights are no joke. They really aren't.
Nerofest had some difficulty ramps, but it was usually pretty easy. You just find the right person on your support list, i.e. with Waver. This is not that easy, because some of your enemies, like St. Arthur, are riders, which means, oh yeah, sure, you can throw a level 90 Waver in there, watch him do no damage and get his ass kicked all the time.
Especially if you're trying to use friends that have the special CEs.
That's right.
Like, exclusively.
The bonuses stack.
Yeah,
they
stack.
Quite frankly, most of the event CEs are terrible compared to using regular full-blown, like, your pick of CEs. Like, I see some people trying to put the 5-star event CE on, like, high-level Lancelots, and I just think, I don't really want to pick that because I don't think that's a good match on Lancelot.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can think about this carefully. Prepare. Don't over-prepare. Don't get too much in your head. But at the same time, the highest level is a level 60 version of Orion herself, with like 28k HP. After not a monster wave, but after a Shadow Servant wave of like level 40 with Shadow Medea and then Shadow Eurali and Stefano. So it's a little rough. But
alright.
You get some stuff out
of it. Last thing for Moon Goddess, going back to the memes, I think this is the full-blown instance of Altera's good civilization versus bad civilization.
Yes,
it's something
like dumplings are good civilization. Om nom nom. Which, by the way, is perfect. I don't know if that's how. I assume she's like making a nom sound in Japanese, but it's just a great way to translate that as just her going nom.
The way I see it, like, if it was like it to be an anime, she'd be like a little chibi form with, like, the kind of flat eyes, just cheeks full.
Yes.
Because she literally comes out of the bag of dumplings.
Also, she calls back to her entrance in Septum, where she just appears and cuts somebody in half. She just kills Caligula. Caligula's about to give you back the fucking bag, and then Altera just... No. Dumplings are good civilization. Moon viewing is bad civilization.
Caligula and Nero, they were pretty good too.
Like, Nero didn't show up. Caesar tried to say he was the Red Saber, and then everybody was like, you're gonna get sued, bro.
No, you ain't.
No. And he was like, oh, I thought I could pull it off.
And Caligula was screaming the entire time, but he was actually speaking in between. Which was great, because it's all like, we gotta fight. It's like, they're in the right, but... It was like... So take a moment, enjoy the writing, laugh, remember it fondly.
Yeah, I think this is another good time for people to get into this game.
All right.
So I think we got into it right away because it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I know you have something you want to do, but I think it's time, since I have talked about our increased production value, and we are trying to actually stick to a shorter time on a tighter outline, rather than just blab about everything we want to blab about. But I would like to introduce a new segment to talk about some of our best pro tips and tricks. Why don't you take it away and introduce this, Mash?
先輩、先輩、起きてください。
Alright, so welcome to Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai, our new segment for quick pro tips and tricks. Give you all the latest, nice, smooth information. And this week's tip, or this episode, because we haven't nailed down exactly what our schedule is. We're planning for bi-monthly, I guess, twice a month.
Yep.
But we'll see. Obviously, if you guys have an opinion on that, please get back to us. So, we should mention that last time we were on, Lucky talked about how Shadow Servants only gold drop Void Dust. This is not technically true. They can, in fact, drop monuments. We have both seen it, or at least I've seen it.
I've seen it.
They just choose not to, because they're fucking assholes.
They are fucking assholes.
As evidenced in an earlier video on my channel, which you can watch right now, called It's Gonna Be Void Dust. Because guess what? It was Void Dust. I'm still in hardcore monument farming. I literally need one fucking Saber monument to push Jean to her 3rd ascension. And they refuse to give it to me.
It's like, as I said, it's like, it's just, they can drop the gold, the monuments. It's just, I don't know if it has the same drop rate as Void Dust and they're just fucking with you, or they just have a lower drop rate than Void Dust.
Yeah, I don't know if it's how the split is. At the very least, if it's the same, that still means you need to roll a gold drop on a Shadow Servant, and then you have a split between it being Void Dust or the appropriate monument.
Yeah. As I said, I don't know, like, the chances,
you haven't noticed already,
chances of that.
Yeah, I don't know what the chances, we should look it up. But one more pro tip to point out, if you haven't already, to go back to Moon Goddess, it does have an event shop where you can pick up Rider, Archer, and Assassin monuments and pieces using the special event currency. I've already done that myself to bump Medusa up the one Rider monument she needed.
So, let's see here. How are we looking on time here, Omega?
We've just crossed the 20-minute mark.
All right, so we are making good time. Let's keep it going. Let's talk about support setups here real quick, and what makes good supports that people want to pick.
Yeah, okay. So I've seen this a little. Obviously when you post like friend codes, like if you're going to like a thread or a talk or something, it's okay to like display your support setup so people know you're worth having as a friend. Usually, obviously, you want to put your highest rarity, highest leveled servant in your all slot. Usually that's where I see, Artorias, I see occasionally Gilgamesh's, obviously people with Jean, sometimes you see Waver in there and stuff like that. If you've got an SSR, it should probably go in your all slot so people know. Personally, though, friend point-wise, obviously I get a lot of action on all slot with Jean, especially since I gave her my one copy of Mooncell Automation, so she's got an event CE. But my best lately, the ones I see a lot of friend points out of, is I switched up my Berserker slot to Lancelot with Kaleidoscope. That gives him 80% NP charge at the start, and the points just roll in.
It's like, I had a similar experience, but I went a little stranger route. I put my Marie in there with Kaleidoscope, and she was fairly popular. Like, she's not super powerful, but she gets the job done, and people seem to like her. For the event, though, I switched out Tamino, who I have got up to level 70 finally. So now I have my Naked Apron wife, which is great. And I gave her Mooncell, and as I said, I'm getting all my points in all.
Yeah, no. I think in an event, the event CE is really important. Obviously, when later events have certain servants that offer bonus drops, that's going to be important. I think it seems like people mostly like supports that help them with whatever grind they're doing. Like in Nerofest, we talked about how it was very obvious that it was good to use a waiver on support. If you obviously didn't have that rare 5-star, find a friend who's got one at maybe NP 2 or 3, like some people I have. We don't ask these people how they get these things, but they have them. And
we appreciate them.
Oh boy, howdy do we. So we pull those in, and similarly, if you're doing an event, obviously the event CEs make grinding easier. I think where things like Mary and Lancelot get pull is because both of those are quick AoE NPs, I think, right? Mary's a green, right? It's been a while
Yeah, I
since
believe
I
so.
used her. Lancelot's is definitely. I think it's because they're great at wave clears, and they have a lot of hits, so they generate a lot of crit stars. So you can easily, like, what I do when I'm grinding a lot with my own Lancelot with Kaleidoscope is, in the second wave, I make sure his NP is charged. I just wipe out the wave with Knight of Owner. And then I pop both his skills, so he gets better crit star gen, and better crit accumulation. And he has at least 2 cards in the last wave that are 100% crit. If those are like both Buster cards, that's heavy, heavy damage. We're talking like 20k plus. I assume Mary is similar.
Yeah. Well, not so much in damage. She doesn't hit quite as hard.
No, obviously she isn't going to hit as hard as a Berserker, but still, you can clearly see the sort of connection. So that's just something to think about. If you want some more friend points to try and roll that Moon Cell, that's a good aspect to think about.
Mm-hmm.
That's good that we covered that topic, and it only took like 5 minutes. I was kind of wondering if we get to it this episode, but we did.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm gonna do right now is, I talked about it last time, and that I was gonna make that leap from, free player to Dolphin. Fun fact: when Omega mentioned the term Dolphin, I had no idea what he actually meant by that. I thought that a dolphin was someone who was just getting so angry at the game they just evolved into angry squeaking noises. But nay, what a dolphin is, it's basically the kind of person between a free player and a whale. Someone who spends basically just a bit of money on quartz. Maybe like on a month.
I'm
like
not actually sure where the dolphin term originated. I know whaling is a casino or a gambling term, where basically those are your big spenders who just drop like $10,000 on blackjack or roulette, and they win like $1,000 and you make a shitload of money. Free to play, especially gacha games, are basically the same principle. You only need a very small percentage of users to dump a lot of money to be profitable, and you can still not be dicks to your free to play players because you're still generating secondary revenue from them. As in Lucky and Mai's growing Amazon wish lists of figurines and body pillows.
Oh man, we found a lot of body pillows.
Yeah.
And I just look at my list and I just go, how much do I want to be judged? And I'm just
the
like,
question we all have to ask ourselves.
Yeah. But I have bought quartz. I now have more than 30. So for all of you, so you can hear the Salt live, I'm going to do a pool. I'm going to do the Saint Quartz Summon, the limited time Moon Goddess event pickup summon.
And we're going to see what being on camera does for your luck.
Oh my god. I'm guaranteed 1 4-star and the rest of 3 stars.
And you will get at least one
Here we
servant. Actually, that's the thing we probably should have talked about. Who's on rate up right now? Mary, Orion, obviously, Ushi Wakamaru, and there's another 4-star, I think. Oh no, it's your Setheno, I think, the gold one.
I'm not sure. I think it is.
It's one of the 2 Gorgon sisters. We can never tell them apart. I'm gonna assume it's the assassin.
Yeah. What just happened? My game just crashed and I got a login bonus.
That probably means you tried to connect a server and it reset.
Oh
That
god, if
happens
it spit my
sometimes 'cause
quartz,
you're
I'm gonna be so angry.
No, I don't think
Okay.
it would, because it just boots you back to the menu. Which
Yeah,
reminds me,
okay.
I can go get a login bonus right now. I'm gonna leave my desk for a second to pull up my phone, because that was charging.
Alright, okay, here we go again. It's like, the nervousness increases. Oh, here we go. Oh,
lets
I
you
got
know
a
when,
4-star CE. Big surprise there.
Which one is it?
Oh, what, is that gold? What was that? Oh, I got a gold caster? Oh! Oh! I got waiver!
Live!
5-star waiver! Oh!
I'm
yes!
so glad we got this on microphone.
Oh!
You feed that boy! You feed that boy!
Oh, okay, I'll calm down.
Now you've got your 5-star.
Oh.
The scales have been balanced.
Got me a Jinkei. Oh, I believe Jinkei is on rate up
GK.
as well.
Yeah, so there's a silver assassin and a gold assassin. See,
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get fucked and I was going to get covered in Jinkeis. I did not.
Oh, another. Let's see here. Got me a Lubu. Let's see here. You know that thing about Mooncell? Yeah, I got 2 more.
Perfect. Hey, if you get enough, you can limit break it. Mooncell
Yeah,
might
I know.
actually be useful for its cost. In case you haven't played the event yet, we should say Mooncell Automation is like, they basically give it to you for free at the end of the first story chapter.
Yeah,
It
they do.
gives you 3% on Arts Buster and Quick Cards, so basically all cards get a 3% improvement. I'm assuming that's going to go to like 5 or 6% if you max limit break it, which actually sounds like it's not awful. All card improvement and a low cost CE, that's pretty good. Alright. Ooh, I got a friend request.
Oh my god.
That's great that on mic, on air, you got fucking waiver. That's perfect.
Oh man, now I just need to get Iskander for Okeanis and I can have my boys.
Or just get regular
But,
middle level
like-
extra.
Like, a lot of people, I don't know if you people understand, but when I was watching, Fate Zero, seeing the relationship between Iskander and Waver was, like, the only thing that kept me from, like, just being, like, just so angry at everything. Because everything in that show is just so dark and depressing. And then you just have this ray of sunshine called Waver and Iskander and their hijinks, and it is wholesome, and it keeps you happy.
Yeah. Uh-huh. By the way, in case you were curious, I mentioned I had a friend request before. I accepted a request from a guy with a level 1 mash and no other support setup. We'll see if he actually turns out to be a good friend. But we're at about our halfway point. We have just crossed the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, alrighty.
And you have done your role. That's a perfect middle point to our show. So, let's see. Hold on. I'm getting something on the old scalegram here. Yes, it appears to be a message that just says Swimsuit Ishtar happened in all caps.
Oh man. For those who are not in the know, who do not like keep as close notice as this is a Megadon, but over in Japan they just had their second summer event.
So we talked about last time that they had just done a rerun of their previous year's summer event, which will be next year for us, because obviously the game launched in the summer. But yes, as predicted, there was a 2017 new summer event, the Dead Heat Race, which featured a lot of servants who were previously data mined or spoiled. There were some leaks. It was mostly accurate. And indeed, the summer version of Ishtar is not only the welfare servant, but she is also the central servant, and she is a writer. So, I suppose, first of all, we should cover the brand new servants. There's new summer versions
Oh man.
of Fran, Nero, Helena, Raiko, Saber Alter, Nobu, and Nitocris. So the
And
part
believe it or
one
not,
read-up- Actually, yeah,
all
go
of-
ahead and add your comment, because that's more about the event itself. Who's in the actual
yeah,
read-ups.
they are they all look amazing and unique. It's like, it's pretty freaking awesome. Like, it's a completely new event. They all have completely new looks. Like, Fran, like Fran is like my girl now. She is my waifu. And her summer version is that she has her hair up, she's in a swimsuit, and she's a saber, which means she can talk. And oh my god, her voice is the fucking cutest.
Yeah, she has actual voice lines now, and they're adorable.
Yeah,
in fact,
like
the whole summer preview clip they showed was adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, like I remember like when Omega was showed me Summer Friend, I was actually working on getting some foundation down for our podcast down here, and he showed me that, and I just did a complete 180, and I had to just stop everything I was doing and gush.
Yeah, no, we turned from sensible project management to immediately, oh my god, have you seen this?
Yeah. And it was like that for me it was like Fran, but like a lot of servants are just like, they're kind of amazing. Like
yeah, no, the summer ones are big blockbusters. They pull out a lot of the stops for very popular characters. The next one for us, which will be next summer, so it's a little bit of time. It's a little bit sad, but it's cool. That includes, popular versions. There's a version of Artoria. We mentioned Summer St. Martha as a ruler who punches people. There's summer versions of Tamamo and Kiyohime, of Mordred. That's 5. Let's see. There's Skahak is the free servant. She's in there. So if you don't pull her in the limited run, her debut event, which will be sometime this year probably, or maybe early next year, I don't know exactly, because it was a downloads reward in Japan, so we don't know. But you will get a copy of her eventually for everyone. And then there's 2 more I think I'm forgetting, because I think it's 7 servants and then it's 1 for free. But it doesn't really matter. It's just, their designs are all great. And I heard that one of them is Mary as a caster.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I heard that apart from, I think, either Artoria's design or Skahak's design was just arbitrary. All the rest of them were designed around particular favorites or even fetishes of some of the game writers. I would not be surprised if that carried over, given some of the art designs in summer 2017 either. So we talked a little about the class changes, because that's a thing. You get new variants, they get new classes, just cuz. So in the part 1 of the event, which is over now, it just happened, you got raid-ups for Saber Fran, Caster Nero, Berserker Nobu, and Assassin Nitocris. And then ongoing right now is part 2, where there's a raid-up for Helena as an archer, Lancer Raiko, and Rider Maid Alter. Which I'd like to point out, there are quite a few alters who are riders. We now have the Santa and the maid/swimsuit. And probably more than I'm missing.
Yeah, I think the other ones is Saber Alter, and then Avenger, who is Jean Alter.
Well, no.
Is Gorgon Medusa?
She's not technically an alter. She could be, kind of, but she is an actual existing version of Medusa from a different point in time. Even if they talk about how the quote-unquote Avenger is something to do with the contents of the cup, which is related to alters. But yeah. Technically, John, Alter, Lily, Santa, or Santa Lily, however that order goes, is also technically Jean Alter, but it's just a giant pain in the ass. I'm doing a thing with holding up my fingers, and it's nuts. Yeah, that's clearly a parody of how overblown that got. But yes, there's only there's a Coup Alter. That's right. Who comes up later. But yeah, those are the only 3 alters.
No, there's an Alter Emiya.
Oh yeah, that's right, there's an Alter Emiya too.
Yeah, there's 2, because there's the Archer Emiya, and then there's the Assassin
No, that's not an alter though. That's just Kitsurigu as Ebiya, as a counter guardian.
Really?
He's not technically alter.
Oh, he's not. Oh yeah, he's just dark to begin with.
Yeah, he's just Kitsurigu.
You see that? Like, off topic just a little bit. When I watched Fate Stay Night and Fate Unlimited Blade Works, I got this feeling that like Kritsugu was like, a really decent fucking dude. Trying to save this poor boy, raised him. He was all like, didn't you find out in Fate Zero? No, he was the dickest of the dicks.
Well,
Like,
he
Jesus
started
Christ.
out idealistic, then some fucking shit happened, and he got real dark, and then some
He got
more
super
bullshit
dark.
happened while he was really dark, and then the commentary even in Fate Zero is, the look on his face, it looked like he'd been saved instead of me, so Shiro saves Kitsurigo by proxy, which allows him to become kind of an okay guy for those last couple years before he dies, and Shiro decides that he's going to adopt his dream. But that's a whole big analysis of Fate Zero and UBW that we don't need to get into again, because we gushed about that a lot the first episode.
Yeah, we did.
But
All right,
anyway,
moving on.
So, yeah. Oh, and I mentioned it earlier, but temporarily, Writer Ishtar is with you, and if you complete all the story events, she will be unlocked permanently on your side. And she is also a writer.
She rides a scooter. Oh my goodness, it's great.
Yeah. However, it's important to note, like, Ishtar is using Rin's body, but she's mostly personality-wise Ishtar. And as an archer, her animations are kind of that way. But her animations as a writer are very much using some of Rin's, like, jewel attacks, and definitely her like, Chinese martial arts attacks, like you might see in UBW as her actual attack animations. All while wearing no shoes, because Ishtar, like a swimsuit or a leotard or something, and a fluffy pink jacket, because she's a race queen.
She is a race queen. And that's kind of one of the interesting things about this, is the whole premise of, like, did we mention this last time, like, what this summer event's about?
No, because when we did the last episode, it hadn't been announced for sure.
Yeah, so basically the event for this summer is, it's a giant race. Like, a bunch of servants are in teams. Ooh, excuse me. And they're all racing and competing, and if they win, they basically... Is it that they get a wish, or something?
No, so basically, Ishtar comes to you, the protagonist, and says, hey, I found a singularity. It's not maybe related to the foundation of human history, but it could be a problem. So, we're going to solve it, and we're going to do a ritual, and that ritual takes the form of a race. And by the way, I've also distributed some parts among the racers, nobody cares. And then she cons a bunch of servants into racing, or servants decide to join on their own accord, and for various reasons, mostly to catch the attention of the master. Because Ishtar is very clever. She's part Rin, so you can tell. For instance, this for sure has been translated. Not all the introductions have, but she gets Saber Alter Rider and Caster Nero to team up by pretending to be you, the protagonist, sparkly, and tell them, hey, I'd really like to see you win the race. And then they're immediately sold. They're like, yes, we will win this race. And if there's not a double Nero Saber Altered swimsuit dojin after this finishes, I will be deeply surprised. Because that's definitely the implication they're going for. We're like, oh, we're going to get special time with the master who's sparkly. But yeah, so there's 8 teams. We mentioned before, there's at least one swimsuit server on each team. I think, yeah. Because Friend's on a team with Moriarty and Charles Babbage, who has turned into Ace Team Train. By the way, she gets the Moriarty of... the Napoleon of Crime, because he's already Moriarty, the Napoleon of Crime on her side, because apparently Chaldea has a guide for how to deal with evil servants, and it says, older male evil servants can easily be controlled by having cute girls call them Papa.
I have seen a lot of fan art of this, and it's kind of amazing.
It is. Also, I think it's gonna kill Moriarty.
Yeah.
It constantly sounds like he's having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Friend does it. She calls him Papa, and she does it while a berserker too, before she even shifts her class, because Moriarty toyed around with her weapon. But yeah, no, like... By the way, the reason why Friend joins the race is because she wants to win the approval of Master so she can go in your room and use your air conditioning because it's hot. And she's a cyborg. Her heating is terrible. Her cooling, rather, is terrible.
Actually, it's not just that. Just Fran is very energy conscious.
Well, yeah.
Like
she could use her own air conditioning, but won't. She wants to double up with you.
Yeah, like that's actually a canon thing. Like, if you've been watching Fake Apocrypha, and seen the episode where her master goes off to, back up his sister, the last shot is Fran literally unplugging his computer and then being all like, good.
Yeah, and she turns the lights off after you leave. It's adorable. So that's one team. I mentioned before, Maid Alter and Nero are on a team. Nobu is on a team with Mysterious Heroine X. Nitocris is on a team with Scheherazade. Raiko is on a team with Sanzang. And Helen is on a team with Edison and Tesla, which goes about as great as you'd think.
I'm still trying to get over the design for Edison.
Yeah, we'll probably cover that because he's going to be in a later story chapter. But woo.
Yeah, he's London, ain't he?
No, he's America.
America.
Tesla
that's what it
is
was.
in London, I think.
That's right.
So we'll see him first. He's a gold archer.
Yeah. What team is Nitocris on?
She's on a team with Scheherazade.
Ah, yeah. Nitocris is like the craziest design. It is fucking hilarious. She literally has... She's an assassin this time, but she has a sheet over her with eyes drawn on it.
No, she's got a Medjed. Which Medjed is a huge meme in Japan. Apparently, I don't know how they caught onto it. It's a little ghosted-looking god figure that might be an aspect of Thoth or something. Obviously, we know a little bit about that because we played Persona 5, where it came up as a thing. And Yusuke goes on this huge rant about what the god is. So Nitocris invokes Medjed, and here's the funnier thing: you think it's funny that she wears the sheet. For her first ascension, until you ascend her, she pretends to be a Medjed. She's like, I am Medjed. And if you get her bond up really high without ascending her, she's like, Master, ascend me already. And then when you ascend her, she pops out from under the sheet and is like, surprise! It was Nitocris all along.
It's super adorable. Like,
also, that talks about how much fucking production value is in these new servants. Like, Saber Alter, as you upgrade her ascensions, she switches from using a mop to using her actual Excalibur Morgan. Her attack animations change with different special effects. Nitocris has entirely different lines in her first ascension sprite. All sorts of stuff. Caster Nero adds her little, like, floating turrets thing. It's crazy.
it's like, yeah, I think the person who has the most production in North America right now is Waver, because they literally change him from his adult version back to his kid version, change all of his attacks and voice lines at that.
And then some of the servants have really smooth upgraded animations that already came in. Like, Emiya's got some good animation, and Nero has some good animation, but that's not a lot of overly put detail into their character designs or anything.
Oh, speaking of, like, you know, production values, for events in Japan, I don't know if they're ever going to show them here. They come with, like 30-second ads that just give you, like fully animated 30-second ads. It just highlights, like, your location, maybe some action, and, like, the servants in it. And if you watch them, their production value is stupid freaking high. I want to actually see, like full OVAs or, like, full movies of, like all the events. Like,
it's called Fate Apocrypha. Fun fact, same studio. A1 Pictures does both the 30-second PVs and is doing the Apocrypha anime right now, and I think they did First Order also. But yes, no, you're right. I would totally love to see more First Order related, the Grand Order rather, related anime.
It's like, it doesn't even have to follow the story. It's like, if it just follows the events, I'll be happy. Like,
alternatively, give me Carnival Phantasm 2, all Fate Grand Order.
Oh man,
the game is already, like, we talked about the Moon Goddess event. That could totally be a Carnival Phantasm sketch. Maid Saber Alter is a reference to a Carnival Phantasm sketch where she works as a waitress, and she is like, and she dresses up kind of maid-like, and she's like, I am a humble gothic Lolita, sir. But yeah, no, it's and of course it's also a frickin' race, which was another Carnival Phantasm sketch. Say hi,
Yeah.
Grand Prix. No Berserkar, sadly.
Wasn't that the race that Ren and Amiya won by force feeding at quarters?
Yeah,
Remember
the Go Lion or Lion. It was Go Lion. Unit Lion ran on coins, and so Amiya was just, force feeding coins into the machine. I think when she had. No, he didn't project them, which would have been smarter, but he was like, Saber, we're only going to eat bread and rice from now on, but we're going to win!
Oh, no, that's right. Ren was with...
Emiya in the classic car.
Yeah.
And it featured Medusa on her granny bike. A rider can win on anything. And Berserkar was just Berserker as a car with a fucking tank cannon. Seriously, go to YouTube, look for Carnival Phantasm All Fate sketches or All Fate Stay Night sketches. They are all gold. And they are referenced more often than not by Grand Order. Because Type Moon still does all the writing and a lot of the character development. But anyway, so that's the thing. I can talk a little bit about how Part 1 is kind of set up mechanically, but obviously that's through a translation filter. If we want to cover that, we've still got a little bit of time. We're running a little closer to our time limit, though, and we might want to hit a couple of our other bullet points. It's not super important. We could also talk about how crazy the new NP animations are, though.
Oh, man, no, we're going to talk about those.
Yeah, no.
Because some of them are, just kind of alright, and then some of them are just fucking crazy amazing. Like for example, Rider Ishtar. As I said, she rides a scooter. She doesn't just ride a scooter, though. She rides a scooter through different locales. I can't remember which locations they were. But
one of them is Paris, I think. One of them might be like Great Wall of China or something. But yeah, no, there's at least two backdrop changes. There's a costume change. She has a unique sprite where she turns into like an evening dress. And then there's like rainbows and shit, and it's crazy. But much more visually impressive is Caster Nero's NP animation.
Oh my god!
Which includes a unique front-facing sprite, unique background music. It's got its own theme that is unique to her NP. It involves this whole big elaborate thing and then giant laser beams and everything. It has a cameo of the Saber Venus as a statue.
Real quick, Saber Venus is the final form of Nero in Fate Extella. I'm not gonna
We've
just
talked
go
about
look
it
it
before.
up.
Google it again.
Yeah, Google it.
Google it again if you don't remember or are listening to this for the first time and don't know. But yeah, no, it's yeah. But I have been told that the entire length of her NP animation is longer than the final boss of the story mode's NP animation. Like, that's how elaborate it is. And it's full gunbuster, I think, with just giant.
Yeah, it is. It's laser. It is laser hell.
She is she's an entirely giant mecha anime reference. Like, she's got fuel funnels and everything.
No, but the strangest one, probably I consider the coolest, is freaking Maid Alter. So she's a writer, and I think back episode 1, I kept saying that they need to have Saber on Secret Service Saber on the motorcycle, and I kind of got that wish because Maid Alter, she starts off you just see some ocean, and then the motorcycle with her on it just busts out from underwater and starts driving on the surface. All right, and then she's on it, and then you see her sniper rifle just flying, just above her, and you don't ask questions about this. You just watch in awe as she jumps, equips the rifle, and then fires while riding this motorcycle that is driving on top of the wire. It's
by the way, her sniper rifle is also a water gun because summer.
Summer.
The important thing to note is apparently her blessing of the Lady of the Lake that allows her to walk on water also extends to vehicles. Because she fucking drifts her motorcycle on the waves. You thought Mordred as a surfer was crazy enough. This is bananas.
Nina Chris's wasn't that...
No, that's just a reference to her own legend.
Yeah.
Supposedly she drowned a bunch of people who betrayed her. Also,
Fran?
it's kind of a sucky NP because it's an instant death. Which, guess what? Bosses are usually immune to that.
Franz is awesome. Like, just it's not like super amazing because
Fran
she's
does
a
full
save.
fucking Fate Testarossa. Yes,
Yeah.
I will admit I watched Magical Girl Lyrical Nana, huh? That shit was great. Those special effects and attacks were amazing. But no, she has a giant lightning sword. And she smashes the shit out of people. It's huge.
Yeah,
And it has a double stun chance. It's great. By the way, it ups her NP after she does it. And she has skills to do NP gen, so she can NP spam. It's an arts NP.
Oh man, that's gonna be
great mechanically. And great aesthetically.
It's like, oh man, I like the thing that upsets me most about this event is that I have to wait 2 years to get to it.
Yeah, that's the only drawback for us. Unless you want to start playing JP. But then you've already missed half the event, so why bother?
Yep.
So we'll lightning round kind of through the last of it. There were some jokes that the event took place on an actual Venus, because in the first part of the event, you face 4, round bosses, and there are related to geographical features which are on Venus. The Atlantoplantia, Boudica Patere, Penthesilea Fossa, and Artemis Chasma, which, by the way, is just 2 hills that are shaped like Orion's boobs. However, I think because Maeve showed up that technically they're in Ireland, maybe? It's also a desert, so it can be a Mad Max / Tatooine reference? I don't know. There's a lot of references layered in there. So there's a surprising amount of reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and to Yu-Gi-Oh!, especially 5Ds. Helena's NP involves her riding a little wheel bike thing. It's really weird and referential and got a lot of memes in it. And I can run through the really quick the who won. There was a 3-round system. No, there's a 4-round system. So, and basically the way it mechanically worked is you support each team by doing certain nodes to farm certain drops, which then move that team up first. So you are farming to support the team you want to win, not just because you like them, but also because there were certain rewards that were distributed to everybody. So, naturally, Mirror Alter team won round 1, the Saber Faces. So then, surprisingly, Helena team won round 2, which surprised some people and meant that everybody got trash rewards. It was 5 Void Dust. Raiko team won round 3, apparently really quick, and then Helena team won round 4 again, which was apparently the last round. So they won overall. And then part 2 has just started. Everybody appears to have been captured in Irish space prison by Mev. And like I said, seriously, instead of collecting gas and nitrous and stuff, you are collecting spoons and hammers to dig your way out of prison. So that's still ongoing. I don't know if anybody's announced as won. There are some people, originally because of the Venus thing, people were concerned there would be a surprise Areshki Gong Gacha, because she is not in the game yet, and she is supposedly a very popular character when she appears in a story chapter. And also she's another Rin face, so, But she isn't in the actual game yet. So people are wondering if there's going to be a surprise 3rd part Gacha at the end of the event. And now people are wondering if there's going to be a new version of Maeve, because she appears, and she has not just a different sprite, but multiple different sprites that make her look like a prison warden in red.
Oh, man.
And so I think that about wraps up that topic, and we will move into the end of our show with some closing thoughts. But I would like to say, to complete the circle, I would say that Delightworks needs to release a swimsuit Amiya, a swimsuit Gil, swimsuit Saber Lily, so you have all 3 core sabers, swimsuit Medea, swimsuit Medusa, Kunis Hawaiian shirt, Fundoshi Kojiro, and then my joke was to round out the extra playables, the extra characters, there should be swimsuit Liz, but because Liz always gets shits on, scratch that out, swimsuit Herc. That would give you all your core Fate Stay Night characters, and I think that makes 8. And then obviously, because guess what? Jean is not a swimsuit servant, neither is Alter, but both of them appear in swimsuits in a craft essence. So I'm now officially taking all odds that there will never be a swimsuit Jean. Taking all bets.
Alright, I think that wraps it up for summer right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that's both of our major topics and all of our little bits in between. So I think it's time to round out.
All right.
Do we want to do our any of our rounds of later predictions, or do we want to just, because that would probably be pretty quick, or do we want to just roll to outro?
Let's do a quick. I got a quick prediction here. Like we got PAX West coming up here in like a week or two. I think it's like starting September. That's like it's a pretty big deal. We might get a raid up there.
Yeah. And Okeanos has not been officially announced yet. That will be our next event, the actual next story chapter. So we probably will hear about that soon. Moon Goddess ends next week.
Yep.
Talking about future servants, obviously there is still the very pressing concern that there might be an Areshkigal or a new Meb or Maeve. The Irish spelling confuses me. There's certainly, with the appearance of Saber Venus as a statue, I think that Saber Venus will appear as a servant in game, possibly as an alter ego. But that, I think, is a bullet point I will come back to when we have a different discussion on what the hell alter egos and other extra classes actually are.
Mm-hmm.
There also, I think, has been data mined that there is a writer version of Nero, possibly who might be an alter or something, to tie into her mythology as Mother Harlot / the Whore of Babylon, which is something she gets called a lot, or Beast of Revelation she gets called a lot in Extra, because the actual historical Emperor Nero was hard on Christianity, so there was a lot of demonic influences there. There was also an Avenger-class Boudica mob in Summer as one of the bosses, which sounds like it could be kind of interesting. She's also mad that she's not a Summer servant, so maybe that means she'll be a future one.
Yeah, like that's one of those things. Definitely thing that bugged me about Boudica is that when you meet her, she's on Nero's side, and she's just like kind of like, whatever. Yeah, I lost, whatever. When this is literally the woman who almost made it to Rome and burns everything between it. So it's like,
yeah,
kind of glad.
As a writer who has the advantage of perspective from the Throne of Heroes, which will be a later topic, we'll get in more of this again. She obviously clearly has some perspective on the event, but yeah, no, it's a little weird sometimes. More alters or evil versions in general would be cool. Just the other day, this is in our notes, but just the other day, I think it was earlier today even, no, it was another day. It was yesterday, I think. I was looking at something else. There's apparently an Okita alter. Okita, aka Sakura Saber. She's a saber face, but because it was a gag. She's from the same gag manga as Nobu. But she's a SSR Saber who is based on a historical Japanese figure who's really good with the katana. But I saw an alter version of her, which looked pretty sweet, with the typical like lighter hair, some darker skin coloration, some cool evil effects. And you and I have both seen that one Mary alter design.
I saw it, and it was mostly a recolor, but I got to thinking about it. I think, like, a better alter... Well, I said originally for her to be a Duhalin, with her head actually cut off. I don't know how that actually works in the Throne of Heroes, though. But then you, like, said with the anime stitch scars.
Yeah, I've seen some like, expanded versions of her art where she's got, like, the anime, like, stitching scars all around her neck to clearly show you that something is there without necessarily doing any weird, like, animation problems or... Yeah, as a summoned servant, she wouldn't actually, be lost her head. And then there's one Mash alter design we've talked about that's going in a semi-official, like, Dojin thing. And just in general, I got a couple bullet point predictions before we go too long. I think that Skahawk faces should be a thing, because in her legend, she's got a daughter who's supposed to look similar to her. And in some versions, her rival, Eif, or Oif, I'm bad with my Gaelic pronunciations, is actually her twin sister. So, there you go. We need another version of that servant who looks the same but is different. Right there.
Wham!
And personally, I will not rest until Tosaka, all capitals, is a thing, which is basically the Emiya version of Rin that was in a stupid gag capsule game. But the design is cool, and I think... aged up, cynical Rin would be really sweet. So do it.
Yeah. So, just one last grievance from me It's like ever since I started playing FGO and got more into painting the mirror, I've been like, filling up my anime wish list, with figurines and stuff, and there is a surprising lack of Fran merch. Like, honestly, it's like I'm hoping like with like new popularity, they're gonna start putting out some figures because right now it's basically all Saber Faces, and John. Oh, and Tamino. We definitely got some Tamino love there. That's about it.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm hoping to start seeing more. I'm hoping with like the popularity boom that Fate's going through, because as I like to say, this is the year of Fate. It's effing nuts.
Yeah, I'm
we're
hoping
gonna get more.
Parkfa kind of expands the merch zone a little. Fran's definitely pretty top tier. She appears frequently. She's adorable. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Should I share with the people why Fran is great and push the button that we do not push?
Yeah, push the button.
好き。大好き。
Alright, so assuming our lovely listeners are still alive after that grade A heart attack.
You people just do not know. Like the first time I heard it, I was like, I had to quit. I just had to stop.
Yeah, no, it's bad. Oh, it gets in there deep. It's a deep cut, especially if you're familiar with Fran at all, and how her normal pattern of speech is only cuter than that. So, I want to wrap up our discussion with kind of a question to the community, because I think for this episode background, I'm gonna use the official summer art, the spread of the 6 teams, or the 6 summer servants, 7 anyway, because Alter and Nero are in the same one. But I'm going to use that as our background. I'm probably going to incorporate it into the thumbnail too, because, well, 1, it's flashy, it's eye-catching, and 2, it's incredibly relevant. But in the future, I kind of want to ask this question. I've done this with some of my X-Wing videos you can find on my channel right now, if you want to branch out your nerdy hobbies. But I've done slideshows of fan art and concept arts and stuff. I wonder if maybe I could do those for this, but that has a problem of attribution, because I'd love to turn this into a waifu slideshow, but not every piece of art I have is signed, and, if you say something of Imgur or Twitter, or 4chan, you just get a number hash or a number letter hash. There's no data to it. Some of these images I've had for, months or years, unless I do extensive reverse image search research, which isn't always good, especially if it's a popular image. It would be very hard for me to actually find all the artists and attribute them. So I kind of wanted to put this out there to you, if you're listening to us. What do you think on the subject of using fan art? Would you be okay if I used fan art as basically a slideshow in the background of the episode? Do you think I should do it on only artworks that I can attribute or are signed? What do people think about how I should handle this issue? Is it fine with just the static backgrounds? You let us know.
Alright, for my closing statement, we're just going to do the usual. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. But I'm going to add one more. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you think what we do is great and think it's funny, you find it entertaining, share us with your friends. Get us out there. Get us more feedback. The more feedback we get, the better we can make this for you, and everyone can have an enjoyable experience.
Yep. As usual, I will put our friend codes in the video description. You can see all our latest setups there. In case you can't tell, hey, I've got a Jean, and he's got a Waver, so we're pretty good friends to have.
Yeah, man, guess what I'm going to be doing for, next week?
Oh yeah, you're going to be farming caster embers. And of course, obviously, if you like what I do, besides all that stuff that Lucky said, liking, subscribing, commenting on all that stuff, be sure to hit up our Amazon wishlists and send us lots of waifu figurines.
Send 2, otherwise I'm going to have to fight them.
Yeah, just make sure to share them. And then let's close this out with a lovely little thing.
物足りぬ。もっと褒めよ。
That's right. Praise us.